Greetings, everybody. Admiral Neelix here, and today's episode is called The Minor Details. Now, in this episode, I'm going to take you all the way back to the very first survey ship you get. I believe she's the third in the lineup of ships that you get. So I'm going to use her to kind of show you some details on the ship, what to look for when building up. I'm going to talk about speed mining versus protected cargo mining, and maybe throw in along with like full capacity mining. Who's going to help with all those, and as you progress through the game and start getting some different characters in the more advanced levels, how to use them, as far as like this isn't a dead set, this is how I want you to use it. I'm just kind of throwing out there some ideas for you. So I'm going to go ahead and let's get to it. Oh, by the way, I'm over 400 viewers, and thank you guys very, very much. Thank you so much. All right, let's get to it. All right, so as you see, I have no captain, and the reason being is because I want to take you over to details now. Okay, now over here on these details here, when it comes to a survey ship, I don't pay attention to the attack, I don't pay attention to defense and health and all that. My main concern, as far as my style of mining, is protected cargo. Now, the reason why I say my style of mining is because at my work, I don't have the luxury of looking at my phone every couple minutes or so worrying about if somebody's attacked me or not. So what I like to do is set up my protected cargo limit to where it can hold more than the amount of what the node will yield to you when mining. So if it's a 60,000 node, my protected cargo will hold more than 60,000. And so therefore, if I get attacked, I will take home everything that I mined. None of it goes to the attacker. The only thing they get is the glory of having destroyed a miner. Because, I mean, a big bad warship, I mean, you know, it's such a challenge to hit a miner, right? Anyways, don't let that bother you, because if you're protecting your cargo and you set out to mine for just that amount, you will never be disappointed. However, there are some people that do have enough time during their day to be able to play the game a little more intensely, and they can watch over their ships and everything like that. So they're going to try to fill up the whole cargo hold. But instead of being there all day, you know, with one cargo hold full, you try to mine as fast as you can. So we're going to touch on both ways to do this. Anyway, let's go to details real quick on this particular ship. Not really worried about impulse speed. Warp range is going to be something that's going to come up later, or warp range rather. Warp speed, we're going to touch on that. Cargo capacity, and then of course protected cargo. Mining bonus is whatever the ship already has, even without a crew member on board. All right, so this is what I'm going to be taking a look at. All right, let's go on to the next ship that I have set up. And there we go. We have the same ship, and we have the same, it's maxed out just like the first one I showed you. And of course, you'll see these numbers jump up already, right? The warp speed jumped up to 8.1. The range is the same in all this. The protected cargo is the same, and so is cargo capacity. However, let's go ahead and take a look at why. So I have these people, never mind the bottom row, I have them there so that I can find them quickly and get this thing situated on certain ships that I have lined up. Tell you what these people are for. We're going to start out with one of the very first miners you get. One of the first you get is going to be Helvia here. Helvia is a par steel miner. So she, and just like all the other miners that are in that particular grouping, they're going to increase the mining of whatever it is they're mining by 40%. In this case, it's par steel. Domitia, she's going to do dilithium. Barot, he's going to do crystal, I believe, and so on and so on. So those numbers are pretty much going to be the same, and in whatever particular item that they mine. Okay, now that's the captain ability. All right, let's go on to Gold Rush. I like her the way that I use her because she is a speed queen. Gold Rush. As long as the cargo of the ship is empty, Helvia increases its warp speed by 125%. Now, couple that with another speed queen. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pick Domitia. I'm going to put her here. As you see, they both have synergy, so they're both going to be using their captain and officer ability. Domitia, she is dilithium miner. And as you'll see there, same 40%, but with dilithium, right? And so hurry home. As long as the cargo of the ship is full, Domitia increases its warp speed by 130%. So let's take a look at something. I'm going to confirm these. All right, that warp speed has now jumped up quite a bit. We're looking at 10.7 now. Now, that's a pretty quick ship. You were leaving your base and you were going to a node that's in another system fairly quick. So if you're done mining, you have full cargo, you maybe just did the protected part, you want to get your ship home and then back to that node again, this warp speed is going to help you very, very nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead on to another one. Now, I have Hadley here. Hadley, you get with a shakedown pack, as I've mentioned in another video. Hadley has this thing here where he can up that warp speed also a little bit by using his captain ability. That's why I put him in the captain seat. Hadley increases the warp speed of the ship by 15%. Now, let's take a look at something real quick. With him there, I'm going to confirm this. Let's go to details. Look at that warp speed. It only jumped up a little bit. Now it's 11. Okay, it's 11.0. Part of that is because the two girls are no longer sharing their synergy. However, they are now side officers and they can use their speed ability as well. So there you go. Now, is that going to rise up if I level up Hadley a little more? Probably. However, so far, I think the only way that you can level them up is by buying those packs. I'm using them for what I need them for, and I think I've already surpassed that need. So personally, I'm not going to be upgrading them. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to officers. I'm going to go ahead and remove Hadley from the whole thing, and I'm going to start working on the amount that the ship can hold. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm this with no captain, and we're going to go over here to the cargo capacity itself. Let me see. No, forgive me. The protected cargo. Look at there, 7,693, right? So let's go ahead and put her there. She is synergized with them. She's part of the sisterhood there. Let's confirm that. And now her protected cargo is 12K. Okay, now if the ship itself has a large capacity in there, she is going to raise that limit. Now let's take a look at her stats. One, she's a gas miner. And because it's a higher form of product that she's mining, T'Pring increases the mining rate of the ship by 90% when mining gas. All right, so we got that part out of the way. Let's go ahead and go here for what I want her for. T'Pring increases the protected cargo by 200%. Now, forgive me, I can't remember the straight-off numbers that she does as her Borg character because I don't have that yet, and I don't have the Ston version either. Now, I know that I can look through my officers and find that out, but for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep it simple and try to make it as short as possible. Okay, so that's T'Pring. She's already raised the protected cargo. Her husband Ston, on the other hand, will raise the capacity of the entire ship cargo hold. Okay, and he, by the way, is a gas miner. No, ore miner. Sorry. I do get them mixed up every now and then. Okay, now let's say I want to go all capacity. And let's say a little speed mining on top of that. This guy here, all right, he will help with the storage. 2 of 10 increases the cargo size of the ship by 20%. So now, let's see what he does here. While we're here, we have the extraction protocol. 2 of 10 increases the rate of the crystal gas and ore mining by 55%. So if you sent this ship out to go get some ore, crystal, and some gas, then he's going to help the mining speed on there. So he's actually a better use on another ship that would have one of those 3 products as a main feature, for mining. However, let's go ahead and take a look at something real quick. Storage optimization, right? He lifts that cargo size by 20%. So now let's confirm that, and let's go to details. Cargo capacity, 25%, right? That's the same as it was because he's not a captain. All right, we're putting him here to the captain seat. Let's take a look now, 29%. So there, he just raised that capacity. T'Pring no longer really has a power to do much except for the fact that she has that hidden stash. So that protected cargo limit, let's go ahead and go back to that. Protected is still at 12K. All right. Now, let's go ahead and put her here. Now, with her there, she does help with some of the speed mining. We're going to go with advanced mining. Helvia, McKinnon, increases the mining speed of the ship by 10%. So it doesn't matter what you're mining with her. It can be either of the resources or the materials. She's going to help the ship speed go up a little quicker with that. Now, there is another character that he's being used right now, the little Tribble. He's going to help you with speed mining as well. However, if you're not using him for one of the mining details, he is great on your lower deck. He's got a great health to his ADH here. Mine is I think just over 3,000. So I use him more for that, for the lower decks, because of all the research that I've done and the level of those ships. They're mining pretty quick on their own. So keep everything in mind whenever I say, okay, so this is the protected cargo part of it. This is who to put there as far as speed and all this stuff. I'm trying to give you all that information all at once. Now, when it comes to that, let's put a little double duty on this. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put to Pring. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. I want to get her back on here so that I have her handy for after this video when I reset my guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put her there. And what I'm doing here with Helvia is I'm keeping her on as a speed girl so that she can get to the node quickly. Now, that's also going to kind of raise that warp speed a little bit when she's on her way home. So she's still helping with warp speed. I have this young lady here helping along with her sidecar action here, isogen mining. Helvia McKinnon increases the rate of the isogen mining by 40%. We've seen that number before. All right, so she's going to help this young lady here, the robot girl, Arium. She is an isogen miner, so by 40% isogen, right? And then, of course, she has a fighting technique here, when in defending the captured node. That all has to do with territory. We'll talk about that at another time. Okay, so now I've shown you kind of how to do double duty as far as crew is concerned, but I'm not going to be sending that ship over there. I will most likely send something that's going to mine a little quicker, and as a matter of fact, if you have the Meridian, then you would go ahead and put that Meridian here, have that same crew, and then now it's a double duty crew because all these people that you set in, the way that I set them in here, they're all together. You don't have to go searching all through this like that if you're doing a double crew for a certain ship. Maybe sometimes in the case of maybe a triple, because if I'm going to go after some gas with this, I can use not the Meridian but the Antares. All right, I can use the Horizon for dilithium just by having her there. I can go and use that same ship and have Helvia on board so that I can go and get some of that sweet par steel that becomes so useful later on in the game. You guys who are just starting this game, oh boy. You are going to need a lot of par steel. There's some things that I'm building right now that I'm in the billions of needing. Okay, so keep that in mind. All those little tokens that you're going to get for par steel and all that, keep those tokens as much as you can. And I've mentioned that in another video, so let's move on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm this crew. Let's move to I'm going to go ahead and put the correct ship there because I'm going to start mining as soon as I'm done with this video. And I don't want to forget that I've kept that. That's my lovely Antares. Yay. All right, so now we are on to another type of crew. I have a spot that I like to mine that is a little out of reach for this ship. And it's a little out of reach for my others until I actually build them up a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about these three gentlemen here. Stan. The wife of T'Pring, as a matter of fact. He is an ore miner. So there we go. He's going to help the ship mine some ore fairly quick. And I'm using my Horizon on this guy because it currently holds more than my Valkis, or however you... Valkis, the Romulan version of the ship, the Valkis. My maxed out Horizon is just a little better than that ship at the current time, so that's why I'm using this. But the warp range isn't as high as I would like it to be, so I'm using my Cadet Scotty for that. For those of you who do not know yet, Cadet Scotty, he is very good to keep to max out when you get him early. He will add eventually 5 digits to your warp range, okay, and that's why I have him there. Now, I have him, Mr. Stamets. Now, there's two Stamets. This is the Origin Stamets, and so he has a no waste of time, or no time to waste, rather. Origin Stamets increases the warp speed of the ship by 45%, so he's going to help me get way up. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. He's going to help me get way up there where I need to be fairly quick. Who else could I put here if I want? Oh, well, you know, that other guy, Hadley. All right, so now this is also a great ship crew for a runner. The other miners are going. I'm already done with mining my ore for the day, so I can use this ship to go take over mining of gas for a little bit while that ship comes and empties and then goes back, and then use the same ship, Horizon, to go get the crystal from the other ship and switch over from there. That's what I call a runner. All right, now let's move on to the next kind of set, which is going to show a double duty here, maybe a triple duty as well. All right, so in this particular setup, I normally have these three guys up in the bridge. On this particular setup, this particular ship, the Cavort, when I am done mining my crystal for the day, again, through research and all that stuff, I don't really worry about having this guy here. I don't worry about putting them there to mine that crystal any quicker, because I've already done a whole bunch of research. He's kind of obsolete to me right now, right? Plus, the ship itself is a crystal mining ship, so on its own, it's already doing quite a bit. So, who do I have up here? Pardon my cough. That's going to be like the going thing. All right, so we have firewall protection, which it applies mostly to like the data stuff and everything, but Mr. Joaquin here increases the protected cargo of the ship currently at 50%. You see that he's ready to be leveled up here pretty soon as a promotion, but you know, I don't promote them right away. I wait until there's an event that I can just promote him, and done. It's just not his turn yet. Okay, so he raises the amount of the protected cargo by that amount, right? If by chance you want to use him as a speed miner when it comes to data, then you have him as a side action. You have him on the side, and he increases the mining rate of the ship by 100%. Now, Botany Bay, there's a lot of research for the speed and everything, so if you've done all that research, then you're going to be mining pretty quickly. Okay, so hold your horses on that one. You know, do as you please, right? Now, coming over here, I have Dupont. Now, Dupont, he helps with the grade 3 mining. So, along with the ship speed on the crystal that he's mining, he's helping that ship mine a little quicker by 35%. Okay, now he also has the perk of Hidden Stash. Raphael Dupont increases the protected cargo by 100%. So, you're going to hold quite a bit in that node. All right, then, of course, I have this guy here, 1 of 10. Now, besides his battle techniques there, we have Bodyguard. Bodyguard, the protected cargo is increased by 40%. Now, all of this together, very usefully, this is going to hold more than the node does. Now, when you see the numbers, don't laugh. I know that some of you have more than that. Protected cargo, 63%. So let's say I get there right at the beginning of a node. I've drained it all, and it's telling me that I depleted the node. So what I'll do is I'll hop off of it, send another ship over there as a runner, and then put this ship back on there, and it's going to start mining again. I have the space of 3,000 extra there to hold and to gather while the other ship is on its way, so that even during that exchange, this ship will not lose any of its protected cargo. Okay. You also have the rate of speed of mining with the guys there, and of course all the research that I keep mentioning. So that's going to work out pretty good. Now let's take a look at what Joaquin is actually for. Now this is where I'm going to tell you that you probably want to think about getting 2 of these guys here. All right. You see that? 2 Botany Bays right there. Now as a Botany Bay, now there's a decoded data that will hold 60,000 on a node. Botany Bay doesn't really have that big of a protected cargo load, so let's take these details with these 3 guys in there. All right, protected cargo, 137K. That means I can hold 2 plus of a cycle of one of those 60 nodes. So I'm going home with over 120K in decoded data. So that's stockpiling there. Now let's also say that with that second botany bay that I would put over in this guy right here usually. I'll come over here and let's go ahead and put her there. Now the mining is only going to be like a few minutes slower. Okay. However, let's take a look at some details here. Protected cargo at 139K. So I'm still able to hold more than 2 nodes worth. All right, of that. So I'm taking home a lot of coded and, decoded and corrupted data. Either which one that I want to go start filling up some stuff. I can go to the smaller nodes and swim around the whole thing at the 9 seconds to fill it up with the hundreds and the 500s and stuff like that. I can do that if I want to sit there all day doing that. But there's a couple of spots. There's one that'll give you 4,000 just for sitting there for a few minutes, and the other one that gives you the 60,000. This is what I prefer. I want to sit you there for a minute while I'm off eating a sandwich, right? Okay, cool. So now this particular setup here is also good for this guy. Yay, let's go get some of this, huh? Now, protected cargo at 100K, that may not seem much to you. But what you can do is you can take some of those other people and make that protection, like the 1 of 10, the Dupont, stuff like that. And you can make that protected cargo even higher. I think you get the gist of it by now as far as what I've been talking about. And so along with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I think I've explained pretty much just about all the uses that you can use some of these crew for. Just substitute, if you already have the Borg T'Pring and the Borg Ston, just substitute them for the regular Borg and T'Pring here, or maybe even use them to double and maybe triple the capacities that we've been talking about. Okay, we've covered the speed mining. We've covered the cargo protected miner. We talked about filling up a bigger cargo hold, who to put there, how to use them, whatever configuration that you are comfortable with, whatever configuration of these people that you have already recruited as far as your officers. I understand fully that some of these people you may not even have yet, but that's up to you. Play the game, All right, this video is very long now. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please like and share if you have somebody that needs some help in some of these areas. Go down my playlist. See if there's something that I might have answered already. Now, of course, the way that I'm doing this is not a set-in-stone thing. You might have a better way of doing it. You might have found a better way of doing it. So if you have, please put that in the comments. Don't be upset if I say, hey, you know what, that just didn't quite work for me, because sometimes it will work for somebody else. So thank you for contributing by giving some nice info in that comments. Keep an eye out for the video that I'm coming out as a sequel to The Bigger They Are. I'm still working on that. It's just kind of hard to find people that want to spar with me. So I'm doing my best on that. So you guys, until next time, have fun and take care. Good luck.